Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to Rash Lunatic Media. Would you believe it? Today's story, we have another Connecticut official who has been busted for impersonating a police officer. Coming up next. But before we get started, as always, kick that like button, punch that subscribe button, flick that ding notification bell so you can stay up to date on all my latest content. And if you're on TikTok and you want to catch all the same content but the full amount because some of my videos go a little too long for TikTok, jump over to YouTube, catch the full content there. Also, linked in my YouTube, click on my Patreon if you want to know about the worst of the worst, doing the most heinous acts, the most foul things to people like you and myself. Click on my Patreon, $5 a month, get my Not Safe for Life news. And with that being said, let's dive into this one, shall we? This was written by News 8, WTNH.com. Where are we at? DEEP official has been arrested for impersonating a police officer. Old Saybrook, Connecticut. An employee with the Connecticut Department of Energy and Environmental Protection, DEEP, was arrested Tuesday for impersonating a police officer, according to Old Saybrook Police. Police served an arrest warrant on 59-year-old Richard Swan of Old Saybrook. He is DEEP's Environmental Protection Assistant Division Director, police said. According to police, around 11 p.m. on April 27th, Swan used a state of Connecticut issued DEEP vehicle with red and blue emergency lights to stop and detain a vehicle occupied by 3 people under the age of 18. During the stop, police said Swan displayed a badge and obtained the identifications of the juveniles in the vehicle by asking for a license, which he later provided to actual officers. Sounds like he was trying to make a citizen's arrest, but decided to use a company vehicle with red and blue lights to do it, which is illegal. During a phone call to the Old Saybrook Police Department, authorities said he identified himself as a DEEP officer. Old Saybrook Police said Swan is not a state of Connecticut POST certified police officer, nor does he have authority in his capacity with DEEP to perform motor vehicle stops. Quote, it is disturbing that an individual would violate the public's trust by misrepresenting themselves as a police officer, and even worse, to juveniles, Old Saybrook Police Chief Michael A. Spera said. We will not tolerate this unsafe behavior in Old Saybrook, and I fully support the victims' pursuit of justice after their frightening experience. A spokesperson for DEEP said Swan was placed on administrative leave on May 2nd, pending the outcomes of the criminal investigation and DEEP's administrative investigation. Swan is currently being held on a $5,000 bond, which police said he expected to make. He is due in Middletown Superior Court on June 11th. Again, I looked, I didn't see anything else on it. It's like they report the first half, but they don't really tell you what happened afterwards. I don't know why, but maybe they just don't want us to know. They don't want us to know how easy they got off. Probably is the likely scenario. Anyhow, not a very long one, but still important because, for one, this is the second story I had on a Connecticut official impersonating an officer. Both had company vehicles that had red and blue lights and sirens. What I don't understand is if they're not licensed officers, why would their company vehicles have those same blue and red lights and sirens? I mean, emergency construction work vehicles still have orange lights and yellow lights, and they can still like get up behind you, put the lights on, and tell you to move if something's going on. The construction's coming up behind you, or you're in a construction zone. Uh, you know, firefighters' emergency vehicles are red and white lights. Why wouldn't? I mean, even aren't even like the wildlife gaming whatever game warden, aren't their lights like red and white, or do they have blue and red? I'm not sure. But what you know what I'm trying to say though. Basically, unless you're an officer, you don't have blue and white lights. So why would an official need a vehicle that has blue and red lights? And sirens especially. That makes no sense to me. Anyhow, if you made it, you made it to the end with me. Thank you so much for being here. I do appreciate each and every one of you. Please let me know what you think about all this in the comments. Let's talk about it. Let's open up some discussion. Um, let's show our outrage, or our, uh, what's it called? Support for these corrupt officials. If that's what you do, if you're one of them, if you're one of them yourself, and you want to support them, or take a stance of defense, I'd love to hear it. We'll talk about it. I won't get angry. I'm not the kind that's gonna start yelling or cussing at you, through the internet. Um, I'm either going to respond with a joke, um, or talk back to you the way you talk to me without using profanity, or I'm just gonna ignore you if it's nothing but hate. But usually I do respond to the haters too. I think everybody needs a little bit of attention. So if you're hating, you must be looking for something. So anyway, I'll give it to you if that's what you're looking for. With that being said, though, thank you again for being here. You guys, it's still nice and sunny outside. It's still warm. Get out there, get some sun, have some fun, and stay tuned until the next one. And as we always say, until the next one, stay healthy, stay free, and stay wild, y'all.